What's up everyone, and welcome back to today's video. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. So in today's video, you guys, I am going to be creating an eye look for the very first time using Essence the Rose Edition eyeshadow palette, which is this one right here. Now I'm not sure if this one is new from Essence, but yeah, it's new to me. I got it yesterday and I've never seen this one in the shop or online either, so I'm guessing it's new. Let me know down below if you have seen this one anywhere else. But yeah, anyway, in today's video it's going to be a look, also a review on this palette here. Retail price, it retails for €2.79. that's how much I bought it for, and we are getting 9 shades in here. So quickly show you the outside packaging. First of all, it looks like this, and we are getting 9 eyeshadows in here, and when we open it, of course the shades looks like that. So it's a mix of mattes and shimmers as well. So yeah, that's how this one looks like, and it is called 20 Lovely in Rose. The name is just at the back here. So yeah, I like the colors. Just looking at this one looks beautiful in the pan, and I hope it's going to be, you know, the same color on the eye that it's going to perform. We don't have the mirrors, just, you know, how Essence eyeshadows sometimes are. Most of them, they don't come with mirrors, so that's something to keep in mind. But it is a see-through packaging, so you can see what's inside there. So yeah, the Rose Edition eyeshadow palette. Let's go and start creating an eye look. So yeah, I'm going to begin by priming my eyelids using a concealer, actually using Revolution Beauty Cut Crease Canvas, which is this one here. Let's begin with this lovely eyeshadow palette over here. And for my transition shade, oh, by the way, you guys, I'm going to have the swatches separate on another video, as I always do, because I know some of you just want to see the swatches, some of you want to see the tutorial, so I always split, you know, the video. So yeah, there'll be another video for the swatches only, so look out for that. But anyway, let's begin by taking this that seems to be almost like the lightest shade in the pan, this one here, and actually use this one here to kind of set that concealer in place. That looks nice. You can't really see much, but I can see it definitely set that concealer. So now let's move on to this shade here that I want to use, which is this lighter pink shade right here. It's more like a rose kind of shade actually. So taking that, we do have a bit of kickback coming from the pan, something to keep in mind. So yeah, just taking a little bit and packing this one right in the crease. Okay, it does blend, but my issue with that, I'm not really seeing the color. I mean, in the pan it looks like it's this beautiful kind of pink shade. It's more like a lighter, you see. Let's move on to something. Let's try let's go into this one here. It's more like a light grayish, and then later on after that I'm going to take the deeper gray brown shade for the outer corner. So yeah, taking this one here and just a tiny bit and just applying this one in this area. Okay, so this one also refused to show up, which is also not so good, because it's just refused. I mean, you can see just a little bit, but not as intense as it looks in the pan. See what I mean, you guys? All right, so that was this color here. Again, it did not show up. Let's move on to the darker shade. This have to show up because I have no other dark shade to work with if this refuses. So let's take that darkest brown shade and check this one. Right, okay, this one is promising to be doing something at least. Okay. Okay, just, oh, that's a lot of fallout, you guys. That is a lot of fallout. Okay, I would recommend doing your your eyeshadows first. If you're going to have this palette, have your eyeshadows done first before your foundations and your concealers. Otherwise, it's going to be a hot mess everywhere, because that's what I did. I've done my base first, and I don't know why I did that, but anywho, this one, you guys, is not too bad. I think this color is way better than the other two that I've applied before. You can still see that, you know, like a little bit of dark brownish coming through there. If we compare this side and this side here, obviously we do have that brown one. I don't mind this one, however, I would still have loved it to be a little bit more darker, like as it is in the pan. I mean, I can understand on my chocolate skin sometimes some browns, if they are not dark enough, they just won't show up. I have experienced that for sure. So let me try to just tap it rather than, you know, doing what I was doing before. So just taking the eyeshadow and try to pack it rather than dragging it. Let's see if that is going to help for the eyeshadow to actually stay in place. So again, kick back. Okay. Whew. Now I'm just going to fade that edges. Okay, it's just like, you know, one thing I say about this palette is that if you are somebody who loves just like a slight wash of color without overdoing it, I think you are going to find this palette quite quite useful, because it's not really popping as I would love it to, as you can see. But for somebody, this would be like a nice, beautiful, lovely, everyday kind of look, which I don't mind for everyday kind of look. But when I look in the pan and I see this beautiful dark brown shade, I expect that color to actually, you know, deliver on the eyes as well. But it's just not as browny as I would have loved it to. But anyway, so that is that. Let me just quickly, you know, continue the other eye so that we can get the rest of the eyeshadows on. All right, I think this is how far I can get this one to look. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to drag the same color that I've used on the top just right at the bottom here, so that we can get, you know, the bottom one also looking as if we have some, you know, kind of matchy going on here. So taking all shades that I've used, all of them, and just dragging them right here. And I am going to go in with this because this is the shade that I'm actually, when I bought this palette, I was like, oh, that burgundy kind of color looks beautiful. So I'm going to apply this on the lid, you guys. You guessed it. Yes, you have guessed it correct. It is this one right here. This cannot pass me at all. It cannot disappear from this, because this is the shade that I'm actually got my eyes on. So this kind of shade, I'm going to go straight using my fingers, of course, that's the best thing. And this one is going to be right on the lid. It is a shimmer shade, which feels quite nice and soft and kind of buttery at the same time. So yeah, it's this color here. It's a gorgeous color. Let me quickly apply this one here, because this one might be the one that's gonna save the eye look. So what I like to do is just pack it on the lid like that, and then whatever is left on my finger, I'm going to push my finger just up above the crease, like lift my eyes like so, and then just push the color in there, so that we get that kind of nice, you know, fade between the gray and this gorgeous color. Whoa, this color I like. Ooh, okay. Okay, this color came to stay. I'm going to actually take this one. It's more like a champagne kind of color, this one right here, and I'm thinking of putting this one on top just to add that, you know, kind of spark to the eyelid. So just like that. I'm going to take just a little bit of this color here that I've used on the lid, and just, you know, blend that on my lash line, just around my lower here, around here. Let's try another shade. Let's take this one here, which is another light kind of champagne shade and highlight the inner corners. So taking this, just apply it tiny bit, not so much. Oh, that's nice. It's just showed up straight away, you know. Wow, nice. Let's take the same shade to highlight the brow bone. Of course, looks like a pretty shade for that. Oh, whoa, wow, look how intense that looks. We may need to tone it down because, wow, that's pretty though. Look, I like the way it looks on the brow bones compared to the inner corner, but yeah, it's pretty. So that's how the eyes looks like so far with all the eyeshadows on, and I am digging this one. The colors looks beautiful all together, and that brow bone highlighter, my goodness, that looks stunning. I am digging this. So let me quickly just apply mascara so that we can see how this looks like complete. And I'm going to use Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara from Essence. You guys know it is one of my favorite mascara from them. So yeah, taking this one here and just applying it, you know, to the eyes. Alright everyone, now that you've seen me use this palette over here to create this eye look, it is time for my final thoughts on what I think about this palette. I'm pretty sure you're all waiting for that, so let's get into that. Now let's begin with the good news first, because we can all use one. So the good news is that I do appreciate when palettes come with a lighter shade. For example, we have this one in the pan right here, and this shade over here is one of those shades that you will need one day. Probably not today, but you will need it one day. For example, when you add too much of the darker color on your outer or whatever, and you want something to tone that down, shades like this always come in handy, because this is one is a lighter shade, it is a matte shade, we can always use it to tone that color down. So yeah, I do appreciate and I do like this shade, and I'll definitely be using that. Now let's move on to this one here that I've used on the lid. Beautiful shade, and it's just, you know, packed on beautifully. It's quite creamy as well, and no issues. Love it, and she's happy. That's all she's trying to say. She's happy with that shade. And then we have this one here. It's more like a champagne color. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful shade. I just popped it on top of there, as you guys saw, on top of this one here, and it is a gorgeous color. I don't mind this one, and I can use this one here for so many things, you know, highlight my brow bone, inner corners, or even as an highlighter you can do, because it's a gorgeous shade. So yeah, definitely that will be used in the future. And then we have this one right here, you guys. That one I've used to highlight my brow. My goodness, look at that. It's popping. So another great eyeshadow in there. So yeah, those one that I've showed you, I'm happy with those. No complaint, blended beautifully, no issues. But then we come down to the mattes, you guys. Well, except for the white one, because this one here is gorgeous. But let's come down to this one here, this darker brown, and then we have this grayish color. My goodness. And even this one here, those ones are just the shades that did not really show up as much as I would have loved them to. With this one here, of course, it is understandable because it's quite a light shade as it is. But when you look at this one here and this dark ones here, yeah, it's just was a situation, and I always prefer to have a really darker brown shade. And when I saw this one here, I thought it was going to be that kind of shade. However, nope, it's not. On the eye, this just doesn't really match what the actual pan, you know, looks like. So yeah, it's a bummer that some of the matte shades did not work, but I am going to be using the one that worked because they are beautiful. And yeah, so that is where I land with this palette, you guys, and that is my review, that is my thoughts, and that's what I came here to do. So let me know in the comment section below if you have tried any of these eyeshadows in here, or if you have the palette, how do you find it, what kind of look did you create using this. And yeah, I would love to hear your feedback down in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video. Lots of love. Go have a good one, and don't forget the swatches for this palette will be coming very shortly, so look out for the video. And yeah, lots of love, you guys. Take care, and I shall catch you all on my next video. All right, bye for now.